Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Dean.
I'll recognize you for,
Thank you, Mr. President.
for some brief comments.
Very briefly, I came in a couple of months after my good friend, Senator Ellis. I, too, have seen many things happen on the Senate floor for close to 23 years now. I'm fourth in seniority behind the Dean, Senator Ciaffarini, and Senator Ellis. I, too, had a bill filibustered my first year here, and were able to pass that bill over the objections of Senator Carlos Trawan, the late Carlos Trawan. I gave him a cough drop during the process because I felt sorry for my colleague, and I respected him, and he had the right to speak out against my bill. I did exactly what Senator Ellis stated a little while ago. So I just want to go on record. I want this bill to pass, but yet I stand before you to tell you that Senator Davis does have the right to oppose this bill until she drops. And I don't think that'd be before 12. And I just want to say this, that we have an opportunity of a lifetime to be able to show not only Texas but the whole country what we're all about, and let's do it right. Thank you.
The chair recognizes Senator Williams.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, there's been a lot of things said here, and I'm just going to make a few comments. We've all been here a long time. The first thing that I would say is that I have enormous respect for Senator Davis. She is my desk mate. She sits right behind me. We chat frequently. We agree on very little, but we are on friendly terms. And I've included her in many meetings in the Finance Committee and given her opportunities to ask questions extensively. The implication that I have anything but the deepest respect for her is frankly out of bounds. And what I would further say is that I have tremendous respect for the traditions of this Senate. And I want to be clear about what my objection is here. The tradition and the rules that we have, and I would encourage you to read Rule 401 and all the notes of the ruling, some of which have been conveniently omitted by my colleagues as they read them aloud to all of us. I would encourage you to read all of those. And what I would say is that it's very clear to me, and it was made clear to me when I came to the Senate, and in the filibusters that I have witnessed during the 12 years that I've been here, the 6 regular sessions and so many special sessions I can't count them anymore, that a filibuster is an endurance contest, and it's to be made unaided and unassisted. And that's been made very clear to me since the very beginning. And what my objection relates to is not the fact that Senator Davis is wearing a back brace. I'm wearing orthotics and tennis shoes because my back bothers me and my feet are bothering me too. I don't object to that at all. But the tradition of this filibuster in the Senate has always been that you had to do it on your own. And Senator Ellis, you're well aware of that, I believe, because I was frankly surprised that you said you didn't help her put it on, and there's a picture on Twitter right now of you helping her put it on. When we were at the front dais, you said, no, I just handed it to her. And there's a picture of you putting it around her waist, just as I said. And so, frankly, I'm surprised at the implication here that things were just handed across the rail and it was like a piece of paper. That's not true. That's not what happened. And so I want to be clear that I have enormous respect for Senator Davis. I respect her right to filibuster, and I think that it is an important tradition that I hope we will maintain in this body. And part of that tradition is that the rules clearly state under what circumstances you can filibuster, and that if 3 points of order are called, and we've had clarification on this from Senator West, if 3 points of order are called, then you cannot continue your filibuster. And that further points to what my point is, that it is an endurance contest. And so I respectfully ask that you would vote with me on this. And Mr. President, I would move that Mr. President, I think you've indicated that you'd like for the body to vote on this, and I would like to make the appropriate motion to do so.
You're recognized.
I'd move the question on the point of order.
Members, the issue before us is whether or not the point of order raised by Senator Williams be sustained. The Secretary will call the roll. Yes, a vote yes is to sustain the point of order. No is to not sustain the.
Birdwell, Campbell, Corona, Davis, Dewell, Duncan, Ellis, Eltife, Estes, Frazier, Garcia, Hancock, Hager, Hinojosa, Huffman, Lucio, Nelson, Nichols, Patrick, Paxton, Rodriguez, Schwertner, Sulliger, Taylor, Uresti, Vanderpute, Watson, West, Whitmire, Williams, Zapparini.
Members, there being 17 ayes and 11 nays, the point of order is sustained. The chair recognizes Senator West for what purpose?
Will this ruling be, would a motion be in order to spread this ruling on the journal?
I'm sorry, say again, sir.
In terms of making certain that this ruling be reduced to writing and be spread upon the journal.
Yes, members, Senator West moves to put the exchange that has occurred on this ruling in the journal. Is there objection from any member? Chair has no objection. It's ordered.
Parliamentary inquiry.
State your inquiry.
In terms of, and I know I can go look at these rules. In terms of the rules that govern appeal of the chair's ruling.
Right.
What are those rule numbers and what is the process? What rules govern appeals of the chair's decision and what is the process?
Senator West, on an appeal by a ruling by the chair, by, in this case, the president, it can be made by any member, and then it's put to a vote of the body.
Is it immediately put to the vote at that time, or is there a process that's put in place? You have to go through a process before you can put it to the vote.
Senator West, the members could debate. There could be some debate on the point of order, as we just did, but then it's put to a vote of the body.
Okay, thank you.
Senator Watson, for what purpose?
Parliamentary inquiry.
State your inquiry, sir.
The ruling that was just made with regard to Senator Williams' point of order, what is the effect of that ruling?
The effect that it's the second warning to Senator Davis. There was first warning many hours ago, was on germaneness. This is a second warning. If there's a third warning, then that would go to the vote of the body to make a decision as to whether or not the filibuster continues.
Parliamentary inquiry.
State your inquiry, sir.
And I think I know the answer based upon the practice we've been following here tonight, but I want to make sure for the rest of the evening. A member of the Senate rising with a parliamentary inquiry does not cause Senator Davis to yield the floor to that person.
That is correct.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Watson. Senator Whitmire, for what purpose?
Parliamentary inquiry. Following Senator Watson's questioning, so there's been a finding of 2 violations, sustained point of orders at this point.
That is correct.
So if there is another, then you'll submit the question to the body as to whether the filibuster shall continue?
Yes, that is correct.
Could the parliamentarian maybe advise Senator Davis, certainly myself, how would be the best way? First of all, there was a ruling earlier that she's not responsible if someone asks her a non-germane question.
That is exactly right, and she was not called. There's been no warning on Senator Davis for a non-germane question by another member.
So as she continues her filibuster and answering questions, I assume the burden is on her to make absolutely certain that every time she says something that is germane, because we know that there are members looking for the opportunity for that 3rd point of order. And as a parliamentarian, or even you, Mr. President, as our leader, is there any way you could advise Senator Davis or those asking questions to make certain that they're germane? I mean, if in fact we want this process to go forward, how could we prevent, on behalf of the Senate, from having someone raise that 3rd point of order?
By focusing the questions and the answers by Senator Davis on Senate Bill 5, the body of the legislation, the different parts of it, and focusing both questions and answers on the bill before us, which is Senate Bill 5.
Okay, being very positive that that's going to occur.
Senator Whitmire, would you pause just for a moment? The parliamentarian wanted me to make clear, and I thought I had, that the warning to Senator Watson has no impact whatsoever and is not counted in towards Senator Davis.
But this last vote was the 2nd point of order.
That is correct.
And if I understood from your answer a moment ago, the next one will submit the question to the body as to whether to continue the filibuster, which is why I'm trying to be as cautious as I can with the leadership and Senator Davis and the members, that if everyone makes certain that their questions and commentary is germane, there's no reason why this filibuster should not be allowed to continue to conclusion, assuming Senator Davis's strength, capabilities, and motivation, and I know she wants to. So if everything is germane, this leads to my next question. Assuming she's able to go forward, which I'm positive, what is the leadership's plans to do with SJR 2 and Senate Bill 23?
So as that we don't have another filibuster going right now. It's clear that the body, Republicans and Democrats, are observing the tradition of the Senate having a filibuster. Having said that, it's also clear that from the will of the majority of the senators that there's that strict enforcement should be maintained, period. And you know that better than I do.
And I think that's fair to put every member present, certainly Senator Davis, on notice. Strict enforcement. That means the questions and the answers and any discussion during a filibuster is going to be watched very carefully, because we understand the motivation by those that are raising the point of order. So we're all on notice. And there's no reason, though, with that notice, that we shouldn't be able to go forward and complete that.
Yes, and thank you very much. I'm going to recognize Senator Davis to continue.
Mr. President. Mr. President.
Senator Zaffarini, for what
Parliamentary inquiry, Mr. President.
State your inquiry.
Thank you. To follow up on Senator Whitmire's line of questioning, suppose that an unfriendly senator, and I mean unfriendly to the issue that Senator Davis is promulgating, Suppose that an unfriendly senator asks a question that is not germane and asks perhaps a series of questions that are not germane, and Senator Davis politely answers the question. Would she be held responsible for answering a question that is not germane?
Senator Zaffirini, I've addressed that before in my comments about Senator Watson, in which so that a question by a senator that's not germane to Senator Davis is not counted as a warning.
Even if she answers?
Even if she answers.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. President.
But the next point of order that is sustained, I have to put it to the body for a decision.